My brother and my parents secretly signed a $50,000 loan in my name to fund his startup, then praised him while I bore the debt. Here's how I exposed them. I wake up before the sun, every bone in my body already tingling with regret. My name's Daniel Harper, I'm 34, and I'm standing in the dusty front room of Harper's Hardware here in Cleveland, Ohio. My parents' store, my childhood playground, and now my self-made prison. The glass door is cold against my palm as I push it open, and I head straight for the big display window that looks out over the empty street. The sky is bruised navy. I know in an hour it'll turn pink and gold, but I'm too tired to watch it, too tired to feel. I left art school at 22 because Dad's voice cracked when he asked me to take over. Family comes first, he said, just before Mom laid her hand on mine and squeezed. I believed them, even when every fiber of my being begged me to stay in Portland, to paint murals and chase gallery shows. Instead, I chose bolts over brushes, spreadsheets over sketchbooks. Neighbors call me the Rock, solid, dependable, uncomplaining. They don't see the cracks. I cross to the back room and flip on the fluorescent lights, their buzz so familiar it's almost comforting. I drag a folding chair to the counter, unfold a letter whose edges are yellowed, a letter from Professor Reyes, praising my unparalleled vision and raw talent in elegant cursive. I trace each word with my thumb, memorizing the confidence I once had. It feels like a relic from another life. There's a clatter of keys at the front. I coil my fingers into fists, forcing the letter back into my jacket pocket. I don't need another reminder. Josh, my younger brother, stumbles in, phone in hand, dragging out a soundless yawp of teenage defiance. He's 21, in college 20 miles east, but he treats this place like his private garage sale. He's always been the golden child, charming grin, silver spoon family friend connections. I used to forgive him for everything. Now I barely acknowledge him. Morning, rockstar, he says, flopping an overnight bag at the counter. His grin is wide enough to crack his perfect smile. Got a ride for me, bro? My hands tighten. You mean the store still has that beat-up Chevy? I force a half smile. I'll get the keys. He shakes his head. Nah, that thing's a death trap. Aunt Marissa insisted I have something nicer. He waves the phone, a picture of a sleek black Tesla parked outside, headlights gleaming like eyes, running and fully charged. Thanks for letting me keep it. The world tilts. I hold my breath. My Chevy, rust-spotted engine coughing, sat in exactly that spot until yesterday. Now it's orphaned, as unloved as I feel. Your parents want you, Josh adds, smirking, thumbs flying over the screen. Mom says she's proud of how responsible you are. Proud of me, running registers and restocking shelves while he cruises campus on electric horsepower. Proud of my sacrifice so they can praise his success. I tuck the letter deeper in my pocket. I can't let them see my hands shake. I nod and step forward. Sure, I say, voice low. Tell them I'll be right there. I turn away, heading to the back office to collect myself, because if they see me unravel, if Josh hears me crack, it'll be impossible to hold it together. My loyalty's been my chain for 12 years. Today it feels heavier than ever. But first, I need air, and maybe a moment to remember who I wanted to be. I pause at the doorway, my heart pounding like a hammer. Josh's laughter drifts down the hall as he sends another text. Thanks for letting me keep the Tesla. That's when I realize nothing will ever be the same. I step out into the cool morning air, my legs trembling under the weight of exhaustion. I just finished an all-night inventory count, my eyes gritty, my shirt stained with grease and sweat, and I'm still hauling the last box of nails across the cracked concrete lot when I freeze. There, where my battered Chevy used to sit, is a midnight black Tesla, its paint flawless, its doors curved like a promise I never asked for. Josh leans against the driver's side, grinning so wide I almost expect him to burst. Check it out, man, he says, voice dripping with pride. Aunt Marissa's in-laws pulled some strings. They insisted I have something nice to drive to class. I close my eyes, inhale the scent of fresh asphalt and betrayal. My Chevy rust-spotted fender, mismatched hubcaps, paint peeling, used to rumble into that spot every morning. I'd wrestle it into first gear, praying it would start. Now it's gone like everything I worked for. Nice truck, bro, Josh says, tapping the Tesla's hood like it's a trophy. Don't scratch her. He laughs at his own joke. I force a polite smile, nodding, but my stomach twists. I set the box down and try to rein in my voice. Looks great, I manage. My hands burn with fatigue and fury. My mother emerges from the front door, her robe fluttering in the breeze. She circles the Tesla, fingertips brushing the door handle. Oh, Josh, it's so sleek. And the leather seats, who would have thought? You've got such good taste. She glances at me, admiration shining in her eyes, not noticing the way I wince. Daniel, did you see this? Isn't it wonderful? I clear my throat. Yeah, it's wonderful. My voice cracks. I turn away, swallowing back the ache. I'll unload these boxes in the back. I shuffle toward the rear entrance, the sound of my mother's praises echoing like nails on a chalkboard. Behind me, Josh hops into the driver's seat, the Tesla's door whispering shut. He revs the silent engine and spins the wheels, leaving faint tire marks on the pavement. I shoulder the last box into the dim back office, where the only light is the weak bulb swinging overhead. My heart is pounding so loud I can't hear the fluorescent hum. I drop the box with a soft thud, and it rolls across the floor, wheels rattling against the concrete. My Chevy is probably sold, or sitting at some auction by now. My truck wasn't much, but it was mine. And I kept it running through every breakdown, every squeal of metal because I needed something that belonged only to me. I lean against the workbench, closing my eyes. The letter from Professor Reyes is still in my jacket pocket, a reminder of the life I buried. My hands itch to pull it out to feel the words again, but I can't. Not now. From the front room, I hear my mother's voice, softer this time. Daniel, honey? I press my palm against the door, blocking her words. I don't want her pity. I don't want her praise. I want justice. A knock rattles the doorframe. You okay? It's Josh, his voice uncertain for the first time. I swallow open the door and step out into the hallway. He stands there, the light from the front door haloing his head. For a moment, I see the little brother I once protected before he became the golden child. Yeah, I say, but my voice is hollow. Just give me a minute. He nods, stepping back. Hallway stretches between us like the gulf that's grown over the years. I want to scream, to demand he hand me the keys to my Chevy back, to ask why he gets handouts while I bleed here every day. But instead, I close my eyes and lean into the doorframe. My heart hammers, my palms sweat, and I feel the spark of anger ignite into something bigger, something I can't ignore. I glance back down the hall at the glint of the Tesla through the window, realize I can't stay quiet much longer. I can't drown it out, each step crackling beneath my boots louder than my heartbeat. The break room's lights are too bright, flickering like they're judging me. I slump onto the vinyl bench, watching the grain of the cheap Formica tabletop twist under the fluorescent glare. The door clicks open behind me. He lives here rent-free. Someone mutters, voice low but heavy enough to scrape across my nerves. I don't look up. I can feel the weight of their gazes, twisting me into a caricature, the dutiful son-turned family freeloader. The fluorescent hum buzzes in time with the whispers. He's milking the family. My chest tightens, milked, like I'm some prize cow, tethered and helpless. I trace the outline of a coffee stain with my fingertip, willing myself not to flinch. My phone vibrates against my hip. A notification from the neighborhood group chat. Danny's still in the store, as he's too lazy to find his own place. The timestamp says just 10 seconds ago. Someone's already screenshotting it, forwarding every cruel line. I read the words twice, 3 times, as if they'll rearrange into something kinder. They don't. I swipe open another message thread, this time from a customer. He's just milk money for that rich kid brother. I pinch the bridge of my nose, fighting the tide behind my eyes. My hands are shaking. I glance around. The break room's walls are plastered with faded flyers. Help wanted, store policies, employee of the month. None of it matters anymore. All I want is to disappear. My mother's voice floats down the hall, clipped with impatience. Daniel, come down for dinner. Dinner, the ritual where I'm expected to swallow my shame with mashed potatoes and force a smile while they praise Josh's grades and his new car. I imagine their eyes flick past me, landing on someone more deserving of praise. I push off the bench and stand so fast my head swims. My reflection in the break room window is gaunt, hollow-eyed. The name Harper's Hardware gleams white against the black glass, mocking me. I open the door, footsteps muffled against the worn linoleum. In the front room, customers cluster by the registers, shooting me sideways glances that say everything. He should get a place of his own. He's freeloading. Shame on him. My mother appears at the bottom of the stairs, purse in hand. Her mouth is set tight. Daniel, we need to eat before it gets cold. I nod, though my throat tightens. I'd rather eat glass than let her see me this broken. I step past her, heart hammering like a warning siren. In the hallway, I pause. A message buzzes again. Did you hear? He's still here, living rent-free, running the place for free labor. My phone screen glows with the words of strangers. I tuck it into my pocket and take a step toward the stairs. My mother's footsteps fall in time behind me, heavy with expectation. I swallow. My vision blurs with the taste of betrayal. I reach for the railing and freeze, feeling the first crack in my backbone. What if I never climb these stairs again? What if the weight finally snaps me free? Mom's voice calls softer now. Daniel. I grip the railing so hard my knuckles go white. And I realize I have a choice. Keep climbing into the life they built for me, or step back into the unknown. My heart sinks before I even open the envelope. I'm back in the cramped break room, the same fluorescent lights humming above me. Morning shipments aren't due for another hour, but I couldn't wait until then. I tore open the mail on my walk from home. Inside is a crisp bank statement, and I recognize the account number, Harper's Hardware. My chest tightens as I skim the first line. Jointly and severally liable, Daniel Harper. My eyes skid down to the loan amount, $50,000. My hands go numb. I flip through the packet. Business loan agreement, amortization schedule, pages stamped with the bank's seal, and my signature, elegant and unfamiliar on the dotted line. My stomach churns. I read the words again. For the exclusive use of Joshua Harper's venture. Joshua. My brother who gets a Tesla before he turns 22. My brother who treats this store like a free gym. My brother, who apparently needed half a year's salary in startup cash, and used my name as collateral. I shove the papers into my jacket and head for the office at the back. The hallway feels longer than ever. Each footstep echoes like a taunt. At the door, I pause, breath coming in sharp bursts. Beyond this door is my father's office, once a place I respected. Now I'm certain he'll look at me with those sad eyes and ask forgiveness. I knock once. Dad. He looks up from his ledger, gray hair falling into his eyes, lips thinning. Danny, what's wrong? He sets down his pen. I dump the papers on his desk. They scatter like fallen leaves. His eyes flick across the headers, then settle on my face. What's this? I force the words out, voice trembling. A $50,000 loan, I'm co-signer. I didn't know, I never agreed to this. His face goes pale. He reaches out, trembling fingers touching the top sheet. Josh needed funds, he had an opportunity. I thought I could trust you to handle it. I swallow. You thought I'd sign without reading? You gambled my credit, my future, without asking me. He looks away, guilt cracking his voice. I'm sorry, son, he promised repayment. It's for his startup, he's got investors lined up. I cut him off. So you risked my name for his dreams. The business fails, the bank comes after me. I'm responsible. He leans back in his chair, silent. The clock ticks. I'm waiting for anger, for an apology deeper than this. But all I see is a man who thinks harmony with his youngest son is worth sacrificing his eldest. I ball the papers in my fist. My jaw aches. You treated me like a banker, not your son. My voice breaks. How long were you planning to keep this from me? He meets my gaze, voice low. I was going to tell you after it was paid back. I laugh without humor. After? By then it'll be too late. You used my name as collateral for Josh's dream. My salary doesn't even cover that in a year. He opens his mouth, closes it. Silence stretches until I realize I'm still standing there, papers trembling in my hand. This isn't just betrayal. It's the final shard twisting in my chest. I feel the ledger slip from my fingers. I bend to pick it up but stop, letting it fall. I step back. His apology lies dead on the floor. Behind me, the door creaks open, but I don't move. I realize that binding loan wasn't just on paper, it's a chain around my life. I turn toward the doorway, voice cold. I need air. He doesn't follow. I walk out, the weight of $50,000 and a father's mistake pressing on my shoulders, and I know I can't bear this debt any longer. I wake to the sound of muffled voices downstairs, and a lump forms in my throat before I even rise. I stride into the kitchen, my parents' cramped, sunlit kitchen where every stain on the linoleum feels like a verdict. My father sits at the table, head bowed over morning coffee. My mother stands by the sink, drying a plate as if she's braced for a storm. Josh lounges in a chair, phone forgotten in his lap, eyes flicking between us. When I step fully into view, they go silent. I drop the thick packet of loan documents on the table so hard the pages rattle. Explain this, I say, voice low and steady. A $50,000 loan co-signed with my name, taken out behind my back. Care to tell me what family value that is? My father's hands wrap around his mug. He clears his throat. Daniel, you what? I cut in, spreading the papers wide. You gambled my credit on Josh's side gig. You never asked, you never told me, you assumed I'd be okay with it. My mother's eyes go glassy. She presses a hand to her mouth. Son, it was for Josh's software launch, we thought. We thought you'd repay it, Josh blurts, face pale. He scrambles to his feet. I'm sorry, Danny. I promised Dad I'd make good. You promised. I echo, staring at him. Where was my promise in this? My voice cracks. The coffee steams between us, untouched. I carry this debt while you drive around in your fancy car, living rent-free. My mother exhales sharply, stepping between us. That's enough. We're a family. A family. I laugh harsh. When did loyalty become selective? When did my sacrifices mean less than Josh's convenience? The last straw rattles as tears sting my eyes. I gather the papers, cradling them like broken promises. I've spent 12 years holding this place together. Will you build him up at my expense? My father stands, voice trembling. Please, Dan, don't tear us apart. I feel the old ache twist into something brittle. You already did. I point at the loan documents. This isn't about harmony, it's about justice, and you've chosen to protect him over me. Josh looks away, jaw tight. My mother's tears fall silently as she reaches for me. Daniel, honey, we love you. Don't do this. Her words strike harder than any anger. Love, conditional on my silence. Gratitude swallowed by guilt. I drop the papers on the counter. I'm done. My voice drops to a whisper, but it carries across the room like a verdict. I can't stay where I'm only worth a signature. My father opens his mouth, but no words come. My mother drops the dish towel. Josh's eyes flick up, pain and resentment warring behind them. Then I turn, stepping back into the hallway, every footstep echoing with the weight of what I'm leaving behind. At the doorway, I pause, feeling their collective gaze burn into me. My chest heaves. Walking away, I say, and for the first time my voice holds the promise of something new, something that isn't built on sacrifice. I push through the door, the morning light washing over me. The house falls silent behind me, the front door clicking shut like the final note of a song I've sung too long. I don't look back. Outside, the air is sharp with possibility and reckoning. I stand in the dim glow of my apartment's single desk lamp, heart rattling like a loose bolt. City hums beyond my thin walls, but here, among scattered papers and half-empty coffee mugs, it's silent. I spread the loan documents across the desk, the crisp pages whispering betrayal. Next to them, screenshots of neighborhood group chat insults and messages from bank collections form a mosaic of my family's lies. Underneath, drafts of the anonymous post I've been refining for hours. My fingers hover over my laptop's keyboard. After 12 years of sacrifice, I'm no longer who they think I am. Tonight, I'll dismantle their perfect facade, one calculated move at a time. I open a new browser window and sign into a burner email account. The cursor blinks at me, impatient. I upload the scanned loan agreement with the bold header. Jointly and severally liable, Daniel Harper. Below it, I attach Josh's texts boasting about the Tesla. I drag in screenshots of her mother praising his taste, and the group chat messages calling me a freeloader. Every piece of evidence sharpens the narrative. I draft the post title. My family used my name as collateral for my brother's startup, Amma. It's perfect, vague enough to draw attention, specific enough to hook. I paste in a short introduction. I'm 34, living off the scraps of my own business, while my parents and brother parade my sacrifices as their virtue. I co-signed a $50K loan behind my back. They let my beat-up truck rust away. Neighbors call me the Rock until it's time to praise Josh's achievements. Today, I'm done being silent. Amma. I pause, the words flare on the screen. My pulse thrums in my ears, but the plan isn't complete yet. Next, I draft an email to a local Cleveland investigative reporter I found on Twitter. My subject line: inside a family betrayal, hardware heir or human collateral. I summarize in 3 sentences: loan misuse, financial ruin looming over Harper's hardware, community rumors, and the promise of documents and screenshots if they reply. I attach the full loan file and a preview of the group chat screenshots. Then I schedule the email to send at 6 a.m., just before the Reddit post goes live. I switch back to Reddit. I tweak the body, a concise timeline of events, from quitting art school to taking over the store, through the Tesla gift, the whispers in the break room, the dinner confrontation, and finally the loan discovery. I insert the scans inline, redacted only to hide personal account numbers. I finish with, I'll answer every question, no holdbacks. Go ahead, ask me anything. I proofread. No typos, no regrets. My finger trembles as it moves to the publish button. Below, I've lined up the last piece, a scheduled social media blast through an anonymous account. I set the timer, simultaneous with the Reddit post. The tweet will quote the post with the link, tagging local news handles. My chest pounds. This is irreversible. The evidence will spread faster than I can track. My family's world will shatter. So will mine. There's no turning back after this. I take a steadying breath and click publish. The confirmation banner flickers. Post successful. My screen floods with upvotes and comments, questions already pouring in. You/Chestnut Coyote, what made you finally go public? You/Hardware Helper, any proof of Josh's repayment plan? You/Betrayed Brother 99, how's the bank letting this slide? My heart hammers. I type my first reply. I never agreed to cosign, they never asked. The bank has my personal financial records, so yes, I have proof. I close the laptop and lean back, fists clench against the desktop edge, sweat beads at my temples. Outside, sirens wail, unrelated to me but fitting. My apartment feels smaller, tighter, full of tension. I light a cigarette and watch smoke curl toward the ceiling, each swirl a countdown. In minutes, reporters will call, creditors will dial, family will panic. I'll have to answer every question, stand by every word, face the fallout. My pulse slows, replaced by a cold clarity. For the first time in years, I feel in control. Each move was a calculation, every detail laid bare. No more unseen sacrifices, no more silent loyalty. I exhale smoke and close my eyes. Dawn will bring chaos, but also a chance to rebuild on my own terms. And when the world wakes to my confession, they'll know exactly who Daniel Harper really is. First comment hit like a bullet. How could he do this to his own family? I froze at my desk, the morning light slanting through the blinds, and watched my phone buzz with another notification. Our hardware store's Facebook page, once a source of coupons and weekend workshop announcements, had become a courtroom. Screenshots of the $50,000 loan documents, Josh's Tesla boasts, and our family group chat pleadings scrolled by in endless loops. Every scroll revealed new accusations. Entitled Brat, Poor Daniel, Shame on Harper's Hardware for hiding this. My pulse drum rolled in my ears, but I felt shock more than fear. This was exactly what I'd set in motion. A ping from my email, the reporter, her subject line read, Inside a Family Betrayal. I clicked. Thank you for the documents, interview at noon. My throat went dry. I tapped reply. Yes, details to follow. I closed the laptop and stood, smoothing my shirt. I reached the front door as the first customers arrived. 2 middle-aged men in work boots, faces tight with confusion. One thrust his phone at me. Is this true, Daniel? Did you really expose your own family? His voice wavered between accusation and concern. I inhaled. I exposed the truth. If it affects the store, I understand. But I'm not taking back what I published. My words were measured, calm, even cold. They mouthed small apologies and turned away, shaking their heads. The door chimed after them, leaving a hollow echo. The bank called next, its automated menu spitting numbers until it finally clicked to account services. Flat official voice. Mr. Harper, your recent loan default requires immediate payment. Please press 1 to speak with an agent. I pressed, a pause, then a human voice. This is Jordan Ellis from Cedar Grove Bank. Your $50,000 balance is overdue, interest, penalties. We need payment arrangements. I glanced at my phone, a single text from Mom. Please, Daniel, stop this. I slid the phone back into my pocket. I'm aware, I said, but the loan was procured under false pretenses. You need to redirect any demands to Joshua Harper and our parents. Account numbers on the public posts. Ellis was silent. I'll forward your call to them. Good day. I hung up, barely letting a tremor reach my voice. Behind me, the storefront windows blurred with tears and rage as my parents materialized in the doorway, Mom clutching her purse, Dad's tie undone. Their faces were etched with desperation. Mom's voice cracked. Daniel, please take it all back. We'll find another way. I met their eyes without flinching. You gambled my future for Josh's startup. You lied to me. You left me no choice. My words landed like stones. Dad opened his mouth, shut it again. Mom reached out, but I stepped back. Then I pulled out my phone and sent 2 quick emails, one to the mortgage company, attaching the loan docs with the subject foreclosure liability correction, another to our creditors, CCing the reporter, with clear instructions to send all notices to our parents' home and Josh's college address. I pocketed the phone and turned away. I'm done negotiating, I said, voice steady. You've had 12 years of my sacrifice. Now you handle the consequences. They stared, mouths agape, as I walked past the rows of hammers and paint cans, every tool a reminder that I built this place with my own sweat. I slipped into the back office, flipped off the lights, and let the door click shut behind me. Outside, the sun bore down on Harper's hardware like an unforgiving spotlight. Chatter of neighbors softened into a dull roar. My pulse settled into a cold calm. I leaned against the door, reading the latest notifications, the reporter's follow-up questions, frantic private messages from customers, a voicemail from a liar. I exhaled slow and hard, tasting the dust of the store on my tongue. The world I knew was unraveling, my family's empire, my identity as the Rock, everything invested in my silence. But from the debris of their betrayal, I felt a strange liberation stir. The wreckage was complete, and in that hush before the next storm, I realized I was ready for whatever came next. I stand alone among dusty shelves and echoing aisles, the only sound my own ragged breath. It's been weeks since I pulled the plug on Harper's hardware. The closed sign swings crooked on the door, and foreclosure notices, bright orange stickers with bold letters, pepper the cracked glass. Sunlight filters through the grime, illuminating the empty cash register and the layer of dust gathering in the corners. This place was my life's work. Now it's a museum of what loyalty cost me. I lean against the counter, fingertips ghosting over the faded Harper's hardware decal. I remember the first day I unlocked these doors, hair slicked back, heart full of hope. Since then, every morning greeted me with spreadsheets and ledgers instead of canvases and color. Just as the dust settled on these shelves, the ledger dusted me off in return. My phone vibrates in my pocket. I pull it out without looking. Josh. My brother who got the Tesla, the startup funds, the kindness of every in-law in Cleveland County. My thumb hovers over the green icon. I know what he'll say before I answer. Dan, I screwed up. His voice cracks through the speaker, trembling in a way I've never heard. I'm sorry. Take the Tesla back. I'll give you half my equity, anything. Just don't do this. Step outside, the uneven sidewalk warm under my boots. The store's faded awning rattles in a lazy breeze. I picture Josh behind the wheel of that sleek car, guilt-riding shotgun, interrupting his college friends with promises he can't keep. I appreciate it, I say, voice flat. But I don't want your Tesla, your equity, or your money. My words land heavy in the empty street. I wanted respect for one moment to count for something more than a signature. Silence crackles between us. He stammers, tries again. Please, Dan. I cut him off gently. I have to do this on my own. I end the call and slip the phone into my pocket, the screen dark against the light on the sidewalk. A jaywalker darts past, earbuds in, oblivious to the shuttered storefront. Life goes on. That thought sends a jolt through me. This town will rebuild, find another hardware store, another rock to lean on. But I won't be that rock anymore. I tilt my head back and watch the sky bleed orange and pink at the horizon, sunrise spilling color over the city I both nurtured and abandoned. My chest loosens, the tight coil of years unraveling. No more unpaid debts, financial or emotional, tying me down. I take a step forward, boots scuffing the pavement. The morning air fills my lungs, sharp and promising. Every instinct inside me wants to hesitate, look back at the store one last time, or in the life I twisted myself into. But I keep walking. My reflection in the dark window flickers and fades as I pass. The city hum grows around me, distant traffic, a door slamming, birds scolding the empty lot beside the storefront. Each sound a heartbeat pushing me onward. I realize now, revenge hollowed me out, but it also cleared the space to rebuild. Out there, beneath this sacrificial dawn, I'll find new canvases, new dreams. Maybe I'll even pick up my paintbrush again. I don't dare smile. Not yet. But I walk with my shoulders squared, step by step, into the rising light, free at last to chase the life I once buried.